Alright, so we have the poison, we have the history channel sign, we have the cats, we have the cattails, we have the trees, and we have these. These are only for 5A. I'll put them back over here. And here is the rest of the scenario cards for 5B. Alright. Agenda 1, the Lonely Caverns. Though much of this cavern system is natural and untouched by humans, you are stunned to find signs of an ancient civilization that once inhabited the area. If there are no clues on your location, explore. Draw the top card of the exploration deck. If it is a connecting location, put it into play and move to it. So that is new. The no clues thing, and that does make this quite a different sort of exploring challenge than some of the other scenarios. Alright, Act 1, Cavern of the Forgotten Age. The vast underground caverns of Kenyan are cold and all too quiet. Scattered forsaken ruins lie undisturbed along your path to the Nexus of Nakai. What happened to this ancient and forgotten place? Were these ruins once occupied by humans, or by a species far, far older? We need 3 clues to advance. We have a couple more treachery cards. We have a Descent to Yoth location, which I will set aside. And we have 5 single-sided ancient cave locations. The fact that they're ancient does make Alejandro somewhat extra useful. So we are going to take those 5 locations. We are going to add to it. No turning back. What do you get? Pitfall, no turning back. Deep Dark and Final Mistake. Pitfall. Deep Dark. Just need a Final Mistake. Alright. So there are 5 locations, 4 treacheries, which I have no ability to get rid of because I do not have a map. I am still poisoned. Again, I'll insert my speech about how important it is for the balance of this game to have a really strong randomization of the encounter cards. Search the collection for each card listed in parentheses next to Jungle Watches. Again, there are none. And that's our encounter deck. Here is our exploration deck. I am going to read some more flavor text. Alright, you descend down the miles of steep, cold stone. The tunnels are chokingly narrow at first, filled with rubble and detritus. Finally, you reach level ground, and the cavern's true nature reveals itself before you. It is as though there were an entire world below the surface. The cavern's ceiling is like a stone curtain of sky above you. Even more terrifying are the endless depths below you, beyond the edges of stone chasms and archaic bridges. On all sides, this underground realm seems to extend beyond the boundary of your sight. You wonder just how far it reaches. Perhaps the entirety of the known surface of the earth is but the top layer of another world. Alright, so we have our 5 locations, and we have our 4 treacheries to make up our 9 card encounter deck. I will have to shuffle. I think I already did this, I'll do it again. And now we are ready to start part B. I'll be happy to be done with this scenario. The last 3 scenarios of this campaign are quite something. And then there's an epilogue scenario, which is super hard, but I did it once, and I will never try it again, probably. So we now are pulling our opening hand. We have a machete. Happy to see that. Guts. Happy to see that. Perception. Happy to see that. High roller. And Switchblade. Alright, Switchblade is unnecessary and redundant, so we pull again and get lockpicks. I mean, that is just a beautiful, beautiful, astoundingly good starting hand. And I will definitely take it. Alright, so there are some enemies in this deck that you can't even play cards with if you are engaged with them, so it is imperative to get a weapon out early, and then I will take a resource and pay lockpicks. So my hands are full, but we're good. Just a setup. Yeah. You know what? I'll rethink this. I'm going to pay 3 to play the machete, and then I'm going to commit perception, and we're going to do an investigation of a 5 to a 2 with my second action. -3. I do succeed, so I'm happy to take that. Otherwise, I would have taken a horror. I draw a card, elusive, and so I get this clue, and now we're going to explore. So yeah, this is a much more dynamic turn, and I think hindsight, well, you know, results dependent, it was amazing. What a great decision by me. Yeah, if I had pulled the auto lose, I might be feeling a little bit differently right now. But or if I pulled a +1, I'd be like, why did I just waste perception? But we're good. So we are going to explore. That is connected. All right, after Dark Hollow enters play, check your supplies. If no investigator has a map, place 1 additional clue on Dark Hollow. So it is now going to have 2 clues on it. But that was a ridiculous turn. So enemy phase, no enemies, so we can skip that upkeep phase. We will draw a beautiful card, Quick Thinking, and we will gain 2 beautiful resources. A lot of beautiful things right now. Alright, here's where it all starts to turn. Alright, we're going to put 1 Doom on the agenda. We are going to take the top encounter card and hope it is not an enemy. It is Poisonous Spores attached to your location. Each investigator at your location who is poisoned at the end of the round will get 2 horror. That's fine. I'm not that worried. Alright, so we're going to put lockpicks into play for 3. I get 3 supplies on there as well. What do I want to do? I am going to exhaust lockpicks. So I'm adding my agility to my intellect for this investigation. So it's a 6 to a 3. I'm going to commit. I'll commit this. So it's a 7 to a 3. -2. So it's a 5 to a 3. I win by 2, so I get to keep my lockpick. I get this resource, and I immediately get another turn. What I'm going to do with my another turn is I am going to move here, so I don't take those 2 horror. I have 2 more actions. So in editing this scenario, it became apparent that the second turn I took 1 extra action than I really had. I think I thought I already had lockpicks in play from the previous turn, but I reversed that. So I played lockpicks. I used lockpicks. I played the card that gave me an extra action. So I should have only had 1 action left in addition to that bonus action, but instead I moved. I took a resource and I played another card. I believe I played High Roller. Now, look, it matters. If you see the card I pick up next, Fang of Yig, it would have been a much different scenario had I not had High Roller. I still had my machete out. The first token I pulled was a -1, so we could play that game. I probably would have just had to keep attacking Fang of Yig with my machete until I pulled one more -1 or better, and then would have gone from there. But it definitely matters. It's unfortunate. Sorry for the mistake, but you know, It's Arkham. We're all going to make a mistake now and again. So I'll return to the program. This is definitely the first mistake I've noticed that had any kind of real impact on the game. But we'll see how this scenario plays out from here. Thanks for watching. Happy gaming. I'm going to take a resource and I'm going to put High Roller into play. All right, we're good with that. So enemy phase, upkeep phase, I'm going to ready lockpicks. I'm going to draw a card. It is Alejandro Vela, +1 skill value while investigating an ancient location. There are all the caves in this location except for the Canyon and the last location are ancient, so that could be really strong. And he only costs 2 to put in play, plus he gives me a little bit of a meat shield, so I'm happy with that. And then we're going to put 1 doom on there. We're going to grab the second encounter card. Poisonous spores get discarded. And Peril Surge. I must place 1 doom on my location or put the vengeance point in the display. No thanks. I'll just add the doom. Good. Normally, there's a lot of time I find in this scenario, so I'll be a little bit loose in adding doom, but that is a surge card. And now we have the Fang of Yig. This jackass. I cannot play cards or commit cards to skill tests. Shoot. So he's got retaliate, so if I attack him and I fail, that's a problem. I just can't play cards or commit cards to skill tests, which is fine, but I can still use the cards that are already in my play area. So I'm going to so I can't commit any of this, so I don't know why I keep looking. So those are like they don't exist. I'm going to take a resource, which triggers an attack of opportunity. And then I'm going to take, so I take a damage and another damage and another horror. So I'm at 2 and 2. Then I'm going to go to evade, because if I can evade him, I can leave him the mouth of Canyon and don't have to ever worry about him ever again. So I'm going to put 3 on High Roller and exhaust it. I get +2 skill value. So I'm evading a 5 to a 3. Can't commit any cards to this test, but that's fine. Second action, 5 to a 3, 1 time. There we go. So if you succeed, you gain 3 resources. So I'm going to take these 3 resources back. And now my third action, I'm going to move, and I never have to worry about that Fang of Yig again for the rest of my life. Yeah, that was good. All right, so enemy phase, upkeep phase. We're going to ready the Fang of Yig. I'm going to ready High Roller. I'm going to draw a card. It is, ooh, Icthaca. Hello. We're going to take 2 resources. Vela and Icthaca. All right, nothing good. We're going to put the 4th doom in play. We're going to grab this. Peril. You must either test 3 agility to attempt to jump the gap, or I take 1 damage at every point I fail by. Well, I don't want to shuffle it into the exploration deck, so might as well do. I'll spend 3 here and try to avoid some damage here. With a 5 to a 3, -2, I succeed. I get this back. I take no damage. High Roller stays exhausted. I'm going to put Alejandro Vela into play for 2. And now I get +1 skill by investigating the Dark Hollow. I'm going to exhaust the lockpicks, so I get my agility plus my intellect, which is 6 + 1 because I have Alejandro. So 7 to a 3. I succeed. I succeed by more than 2, so I keep my lockpicks. I get this clue. So my first action was to play Alejandro. My second action was to investigate with the lockpicks. My third action is going to be to explore, and I'll probably hit a treachery at this point. So it's yellow or red. Whoa, what is happening? There's an additional cost for you to explore while at vast passages. Check your supplies. If no investigator at this location has binoculars, you must spend 1 additional action. If you do have binoculars, the shroud value is 2, the clue value is 1. Alright, enemy phase, upkeep phase. I'm going to ready lockpicks. I'm going to ready high roller. Yeah, this is going really well. I'm going to take a card. 41 Derringer. And we're going to take 2 resources. We're going to go up top to the Mythos phase. Put 1 Doom on there. And we're going to draw this. Oh. Okay. Now we have to figure out what we want to do with that guy. I kind of want to take the fight. Alright, I'm going to spend 4, which is going to give me an attack of opportunity. I'm going to give a damage and a horror to Alejandro Vela. And I'm putting Icthaca in play. Now I am going to attack with a fight of 5 to a 2. He's the only enemy I'm engaged with, so this is for 2 damage. 5 to a 2. -3, I succeed. And one more time. Machete. 5 to a 2. Cultist, I succeed. So the Brood of Yig is very dead. So enemy phase, upkeep phase, nothing to upkeep. Draw a card. Alright, daring maneuver and take 2 resources. We're going to put 1 Doom on the agenda. That is 6 in play. And we're going to grab, I get a damage because I am poisoned. And poisonous spores will go here. It's a very poisonous spores location. I'm going to exhaust lockpicks. We are now investigating a 6 to a 2. -3, I succeed. I do break one of my lockpicks. I'll take this clue. That was my first action. My second action is I need to investigate, or I need to explore with my second action. Oh no, I'm sorry, I had a 7 to a 2. So I actually succeeded by 2. I get a +1 because of Alejandro, because I was at an ancient location. Alright, so I'm looking for a green, red, or moon. Moon. What is happening? Alright. Shroud value 1, clue value 2. Oh wait. After you enter the crystal pillars, test 1. This test gets +1 difficulty for each vengeance point the victor is played at 0. So we're testing a 3 to a 1. If you fail, take 1 horror and 1 damage. Woo! I fail. I take 2 horror and 1 damage. So 1 horror. So I take the 1 horror and 1 damage and another horror because I pulled the elder thing. And then, so I'm at 3 and 3 on Jenny, which is fine. So what did I do? I investigated, I explored, I'm actually going to advance the act deck, which I probably should have done already, but didn't have to, so did not break any rules. With very few landmarks to spot along the dark and lonely tunnels, you must rely on your wits and navigation skills to make your way forward without getting lost. Extra clue there. If only you had an easy way to mark the places you had already visited. Shuffle the Scent of Yoth, which is connected to the Crystal Ruins. Shuffle the Scent of Yoth into the exploration deck, which is loaded with treacheries. The lead investigator chooses one investigator to be the group's lead scout. I do have chalk. Now trust me, the only reason that I get chalk when I play the Forgotten Age campaign is because of this scenario, and because not having chalk at this moment is the most brutal and most annoying thing, especially after you probably played scenario 5A like 7 different times. You just want to be done with scenario 5. So yeah, get chalk. It's worth the 2 supply points. Notice I took chalk over provisions. Again, it's also not fair because I'm Jenny, but we're good. So we did advance, and now we go to Descent into Dark. The deeper you descend into the cold darkness, the more you feel the crushing weight of the world above and the dizzying reality of the world further below. You suddenly long for the surface and wonder if you will ever see the sky again. If each the surviving investigator is at the Descent of Yoth and there is no doom on it, you may advance. This has been just an absurd run of luck here. Alright, so I've already advanced. I already used my lockpicks. There are 2 clues on there. I tested the forced thing and lost, unfortunately. We are going to spend 3 resources to add 2 to my investigate. So we're doing a 5 to a 1, and I get +1 because of Alejandro, so it's a 6 to a 1. I succeed. I get this 3 money back, and I get a clue. Alright, enemy phase, upkeep phase. I'm going to ready lockpicks. I'm readying high roller. I'm going to draw a card. It is Cheap Shot. I'm going to take 2 resources. Alright, end of round effects. We're going to discard the Poisonous Spores. Mythos phase. We are going to add the 7th Doom in play. We're leaving the 1 Doom that was on the Mouth of Kenyan. And we're going to advance this. The Harbinger is still alive. Of course he is. From the entrance far behind you, a threatening hiss and an all too familiar rattling causes you to freeze in terror. You grip the nearest weapon you can find and turn in fright, hands trembling. How has it followed you this far? When will this awful hunt end? Search, blah, blah, blah. So if there were 8 marks under your Fury in the campaign log, then this guy would actually spawn where I am. But there's only 5. So he goes there. Great. Pull this. Eyes in the dark. Bright yellow eyes peer at you from all sides as you continue delving deeper into the cavern. The glowing orbs vanish as light is cast on them, reappearing as soon as the darkness returns. Same as Explore action, and the Doom threshold is 12 with an asterisk, so it's actually 13 because it's +1 Doom per investigator. Testing this. There is no Doom in my location. If I fail, I take 2 damage. Kind of sick of taking damage right now. So it's a 3 to a 2. I will test a 4, 5 to a 2. Yeah, why not? Now I'll test a 5 to a 2. Let's hold on to those cards. 5 to a 2. Tablet. I automatically fail, so I definitely lose. I lose those 3 resources, and I take 2 damage. I'm going to put 1 on Icthaca and 1 on Jenny. Oh, the tablet's brutal. Alright, I am going to investigate. I'm going to exhaust lockpicks. I am testing a 6, 7 to a 1. Slippery little suckers. Alright, 701, -5. Woo! I do not succeed by 2, amazingly, so I lose 1 of my lockpicks, but I get this. And now I have 2 more actions. What? Alright. So, a little worried at how full of badness this deck is, but the green would be bad too because it puts me 1 away from the Arbinger. So that's interesting. So I have 2 more actions. I am going to hopefully pull the... Yeah, that makes more sense. We will pull... So my second action is going to be exploring Pitfall. Testing. For each point I fail by, I take 1 damage. So I have a 3, 4. Oh, I didn't count that last time. I still lost. That's fine. 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 to 3. I succeed. I'm going to explore again with my 3rd action, although that might not be the smartest thing I've ever said. Nah. I draw 2 cards, which is an interesting idea. Don't know what to expect. I mean, I guess if I pull the Searching for Izzy out there, that's just going to be a trauma. The badness of exploring my last action is if I put the green in play, which I am just as likely to do as putting the Depths of Yoth in play. Then the Arbinger is going to come, and that he's just going to attack me, and that's just going to be super bad. I'm just going to take a resource. Alright, enemy phase. We're resolving the hunter keyword of each enemy in play. Upkeep phase. I'm readying lockpicks. I'm readying high roller. I'm going to draw a card. It's a flashlight. I'm going to take 2 resources. Going to put 1 doom on the agenda. That's the second one in play, and we draw the Curse of Yig. I lose 1 fight, and I lose 1 health, so I effectively have 3 health left. Alright, I'm going to explore because I need to start digging these treacheries out of here. Deep Dark. No more than 1 clue, blah, 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 that's fine. My second action. So I'm going to move, I engage with the Arbinger. I'm going to evade. He does have Vengeance X, he has Vengeance 5. So I have 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to use High Roller to give me 6 and 7. To a 3. +1 due to super evaded, so he gets a resource on him. I'm going to get those 3 back. That was my third action. So enemy phase, upkeep phase, we will ready the Arbinger. He's going to engage with me again. I'm going to draw a card. It is Hard Knocks. I'm going to take 2 resources. We're going to put the third Doom in play here. We're going to draw this. It's choose a location where there's at least 1 investigator, place a Doom there, and that each investigator there gets a horror. That's fine. I'm going to again try to evade this guy, so it's a 3, 4, 5 because of Icthaca. So not from there, from here. Spending 3 resources, exhausting high roller, 6, 7, and then I'm going to commit Hard Knocks because what else am I doing with Hard Knocks right now? So 8 to a 3. Automatically fails. Alright, so I take 2 damage. These 3 resources go away. Take 2 horror. So now it's a 5. I mean, I'm committed now. 6 to a 3. Make him go away, please. Alright. I got it. He's gone. He goes away with a hiss. Bah. Whoo. So that's my second action. My third action is I'm going to go back to Crystal Pillars, and man, I am way more beat up than I hoped. You know what? I'm going to kill off Alejandro. I'm not going to leave Jenny 1 away from... If I pick another Curse of Yig, she dead. Yeah, and there's another one in there. So Alejandro, bye-bye. Thank you for your service. I appreciate your contribution to my life. And I say goodbye. Alright, well that got a lot hairier than I hoped, but we're still in fairly good shape here. So enemy phase, upkeep phase. I'm going to draw a card. It is a knife. I'm going to take 2 resources. We're going to put the 5th Doom in play. This goes away. This comes out. Gotta draw the top 2 encounter cards. 2. Alright, we'll do the first one first. We are testing a 3, 4, 5 to a 2. 2 damage if I lose. There's nothing I can do about that now. Five to a 2. I succeed. It's -3. I get this money back. And then no turning back attaches to my location. Alright, so I can test 3 combat, or I can check supplies. I do have a pickaxe, and since I have a pickaxe, I can discard no turning back. I'm pretty sure I took a pickaxe. I did. No turning back gets discarded. That's 1 action. I'm going to explore with my second action. It's a no turning back, and I'm going to discard that with my third action. This is so gross. Alright, enemy phase, upkeep phase. I'm going to ready high roller. You know, I could just test that too. Ready high roller. I'm drawing a card. Sneak attack. I'm going to take 2 resources. We're going to put the 6 Doom in play. I mean, how the heck? Alright. First action, discarding, no turning back. My second action, I'm going to explore, which we are now down to the Descent of Yoth, 2 locations, and 1 treachery. Explore. Oh, dude. You've got to be kidding me. Alright, we're testing a 3, 4, 5, 6 to a 2. I succeed. That's my third action. My third action is to explore. Going the wrong way. After you fail this contest by investigating part of this goal, check your supplies. If no investigators are rope, add a doom. So there's a clue. Be cool to get it, I guess. Oh, man. I mean, I can't even recreate this. When I left there, I should have tested, and that'd be a damage and a horror. I mean, I'll test a 3 to a 1, and if I fail, alright, I succeeded. Alright, good. I don't even have to figure it out because I have no idea what I would have done if I failed that. But yeah, when I go back there, I'm going to have to test that, which makes that a little more precarious. Alright, enemy phase, upkeep phase. I will ready high roller. I'm going to draw a card. It's Dr. Milan. We're going to take 2 resources. I'm going to add a doom. That's 7. We're going to take this. It's a Bruta Yig, because of course it is. So not worth even trying to get that victory point. Alright, I'm trying to evade. It is a 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to a 2. -3. I succeed. He's evaded. I get this money back, so that's 1. I move. I enter that again. So I'm testing a 5 to a 1. I succeed, I draw a card. It's overpower. And then the third action is I will explore. Hey. Alright, Shroud value 3. After Descent of Yoth enters play, each investigator must either place one doom on Descent of Yoth or draw the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. Now, the nice thing about this is I have to do this first. The nice thing about this is that they're enemies. Who cares? Because I just advance. The only things I have to worry about are some treacheries that might cause me some damage. There is a chance I could have. Alright, I'm drawing the top 2 cards with my last. Yeah, because I baited, I moved, I did that test again, I explored. So I get, place 1 doom. Each investigator there takes a horror. That's not good. So Icthaca's dead. Now we do have a doom, so this game is not over. And the next card is Curse of Yig. One away from death there. Yowza. So enemy phase, upkeep phase. Ready the Brood of Yig. I'm going to draw a card. Backstab. I'm going to take 2 resources. We're going to put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th doom in play. Draw this. You have got to be kidding me. So this dude has retaliate. Of course I can't commit cards. Alright. Doing a 5 to a 3. Zero. Alright, so he's no longer engaged with me. So I can commit cards again. I get these resources back. I'm going to exhaust lockpicks. So that gives me a 6 to a 3 because I've added retaliate. I've added agility to my intellect. I'm going to then do a 7 to a 3, an 8 to a 3. After you successfully investigate, instead of discovering clues, you may flip 1 doom in its clue side. That was my second action. Man, I don't get those 2 victory points. Oh, that's so gross. If I fail and I pull that Elder Sign, I'm dead. I'm dead. Alright, so my options here are I can try to get that clue. I only have 1 more skill icon because I went all in on that last one. It does save me some vengeance points, but I'm pretty good with vengeance as it is. But, you know, It is what it is. Alright, it's not worth the risk. I am going to, oh man, I don't still get those victory points. But I'm going to end this with no cushion in health, no cushion in horror, and all my allies dead. So let's do this. We are going to, if each surviving investigator is at the Descent of Yoth and there is no doom on it, you may advance. I will advance. Not even going to try. I mean, I can't even risk pulling a card because I do have the working hunch still. But if I pull searching for Izzy instead, that's going to be a problem. So, deduction. Where was searching for Izzy? Oh, there's Leo. Is that working hunch was second there. All right, we're good. We're good. I'll take that result. Before you lies an ornate and elaborately decorated doorway, a stone disc that has been rolled aside to unveil the hellish realm beyond. The caverns on the other side are bathed in a red glow. The serpent-themed statues and carvings along the walls inform you that you are on the right track. The investigators did rescue Alejandro, so we are going to go to R1. Finally done with scenario 5. Finally, Yoth, cavern of the serpents, the cursed ones who fled the destruction of Valusia. Alejandro examines the entryway with wonder in his eyes, arms raised in exultation. You know not of what he speaks, and you are beginning to grow worried. Just then something scutters behind you, and a sound like the click-clacking of a claw catches you by surprise. Emerging from the darkness behind you are several alien creatures, the likes of which you have never seen. 10 feet tall, with conical bodies that end in 4 strange appendages of varying lengths. There you are, Alejandro says calmly. One of the creatures responds by clicking its claws against one another in a deliberate pattern. Take their minds, Alejandro commands the creatures. We have no further use for them. It is your last human memory. Alright, Harbinger still in play. Still has no damage. There is nothing to add for Yig's Fury, which is kind of amazing. 4 victory points, which isn't a ton. That includes the 2 from scenario 5A. So let's record this. Record scenario results. Resolution R1. So now we get introduced to the Yithians. So what you find out is Alejandro is not exactly just a human historian. He is also a Yithian, which is pretty ridiculous. So we now have one of the more interesting scenarios coming up. And I'm not sure my deck is built well enough to take it on, but it'll be fun to try. So I do have a total of, counting from what I had last time we played, 8 available experience. So let me get to the rogue deck. If I had 10, I would definitely go for the Key of Wise, which is an exceptional neutral card that costs 10. Alright, I'm definitely taking low though. Oh, H is just a weird number. Take another charisma. Don't hate that idea. Not feeling that. Time-worn brand is pretty strong. Alright, I am going to stick with Lola. I think I'm going to grab... No, I'm going to grab the other charisma. There's just so many allies. I'm going to lose Alejandro. Maybe I don't have as many allies as I think if we take out Alejandro, right? I have Alejandro, Cap Burglar, Peter Silvestre, Dr. Milan, now Lola. Only 4. Oh, Icthaca is obviously 5. No, I'm not gonna take charisma. I am gonna take the time-worn brand. That's what I'm gonna do. I think having the ability to do +3 damage one time a game is worth it. Alright, so now I gotta figure out what 2 cards I'm taking out. Flashlight I keep. Narrow escape I keep. Fine clothes I'll keep. Emergency catch. Trench coat. Dexterity. Elusive. Hard knocks. Icthaca. Daring maneuver is kind of, but it's free. It's definitely on a short list. Keeping that, keeping that. Alright. Cheap shots out. On wolf. Cat burglar, working on perception. Alright, quick thinking's on the short list. Just want to be careful about taking out cards that are free and adding cards that cost a virtual ton of money. I think the Derringer has served its purpose. Yeah. So we are going to keep those two in. We're going to add Lola and the Time Worn brand. Alright, so Lola's in. Time Worn brand is in. Derringer is out. And cheap shot is out. Great. I will take it. So that was kind of an amazing second scenario, and that everything went so well the first half, and then all of a sudden I was like super insanely close to death second half. So you can kind of see how that second scenario can really kind of snowball pretty quick. But I was happy to get out of there with the win. The first half, I mean, you know, you saw it all. It's a tedious experience. Never had to take any damage, didn't take any mulligans, just had to keep playing it until I got the 2 clues advanced, 2 clues advanced, 1 clue, and then finally 2 clues in that very last iteration of 5A. But now we have a really cool scenario coming up next time, so I hope you join me as we move ever closer to the end of Jenny Barnes taking on the Forgotten Age. Thanks again. Have a good day.